Just after signing the divorce agreement, right then and there, the female CEO with billions in assets, named Sophia, had a car accident. When she woke up, her memories had rewound to 5 years ago. Back then, she treated me like her very life, swearing she wouldn't marry anyone but me. She sobbed pitifully, like pear blossoms in the rain, clutching my shirt hem, begging for a hug, even demanding to transfer all the shares in her name over to mine. Gazing deep into those eyes that seemed so full of affection, I only felt my stomach churning, disgusted to the core, because just last night, I hadn't only found a condom in the crevice of her car seat, but also discovered in her encrypted personal cloud the contents of the prison gift package she'd meticulously prepared for me. Sophia, let's see how long you can keep up this act of deep love. Clutching the still warm divorce certificate, just stepping out of the Civil Affairs Bureau door, Sophia was sent flying by a swerving truck. The impact scrambled her brain completely, with the doctor diagnosing dissociative amnesia. Her memories had frozen at the point when our love burned hottest during college. Alex, it hurts so much. On the hospital bed, Sophia's head was wrapped in thick layers of gauze. Her eyes, which usually regarded me coldly like trash, were now brimming with tears. Gazing at me with misty longing, she trembled as she reached out, craving my touch. Her movements, so natural, as if, between us, there had never been those heart-wrenching arguments, never any betrayal, nor that divorce paper that had just taken effect. I stood silently by the bed, hands in my pockets, fingertips fiddling with the cold corner of the certificate in my pocket, its sharp edge cutting into my hand with a stinging pain. Sophia, do you know who I am? Dendragi and Zawai. My voice was hoarse, carrying a subtle chill that was hard to detect. Sophia paused for a moment, then pouted aggrievedly, tears falling like scattered pearls. You're Liam, of course. My husband, my dearest, darling. Are you mad because I crossed the road without checking the lights? I won't do it again next time. Please don't leave me, husband darling. These two words pierced my eardrums like poison-tipped thorns. Just a second ago, she'd stood at the Civil Affairs Bureau door, mocking Liam coldly. Seeing your face makes me want to puke. Take the money and get out of my sight. No. Yet, in the next second, she'd seamlessly switched to this innocent, pure demeanor. The nurse beside her looked deeply touched. Mr. Liam, the first words Miss Sophia said when she woke, we're calling your name. She truly loves you so much. For the sake of the patient's brain recovery, it's best to go along with her. And absolutely don't agitate her. Loves me? I nearly burst out laughing. If I didn't know she'd gotten pregnant with another man's child, if I didn't know how, over the past 3 years, she'd trampled my self-respect underfoot and ground it to dust, I might have believed this devilish lie. Alex, hold me. Sophia spread her arms wide, like a child demanding candy. I looked down at her, forcing down the nausea rising in my chest, but I still bent over, indifferently embracing her. If heaven had arranged for her to play this act, then I'd join her and make it utterly satisfying. I wanted to see with my own eyes, when her memories returned, how she'd recall, personally, sending her beloved pretty boy to hell, and how she'd knelt on the ground, begging me not to leave. Her expression then would surely be dramatic beyond words. Sophia stubbornly insisted on being discharged to go home. The doctor couldn't persuade her, and I couldn't be bothered to waste words. Returning to the house we'd lived in for 3 years, the excitement in Sophia's eyes faded instantly, replaced by utter confusion. Alex, why has all the furniture in the house changed like this? Why? She pointed at the massive floor-to-ceiling window in the living room, as well as the expensive white piano placed awkwardly by the window. I remember you once said you didn't like floor-to-ceiling windows because they're too glaring. And you didn't like pianos because they're too noisy, didn't we agree? To buy a huge aquarium to raise turtles. Yeah, Nhi. Of course, it had to change. Because this place had long ceased to be my home. This piano was the favorite item of her little lover Connor Zane. To win a smile from Connor Zane, she'd thrown money around like dirt, spending hundreds of thousands on this instrument, even though Connor Zane couldn't play a single note, only banging randomly to make noise. As for the aquarium, I liked. A year ago, she'd ordered it thrown out, with an extremely biting reason. Seeing it irritates me. It reeks of poverty. It changed later. I slipped on my slippers, my voice calm as still water. People change eventually, and so do preferences. Sophia furrowed her brows tightly, as if struggling to digest information completely. She walked to the entryway, wanting to help fetch my slippers, but from deep in the shoe cabinet, pulled out a pair of limited edition AJ sneakers. They were size 42, while I wear 44. Sophia held the shoes, her face blank. Alex, whose shoes are these? When did your feet get smaller? Yeah, no, I glanced coldly. Those were the shoes Connor Zane had left behind last week, to hide his height, with insoles even stuffed inside. Probably bought the wrong ones. Yeah, I brushed it off casually, lightly kicking the shoes into the corner with my toe. Sophia didn't pursue it further. In her current world, there was only me. She ran to the kitchen wanting to pour me water, but because she couldn't find the familiar cup, she spun around frantically. That's strange. Where's our matching cups? Yay! Indy. The ones with SpongeBob printed on them broke long ago. Half a year ago, Connor Zane came over, complaining the cups were ugly and eyesores. So he deliberately, accidentally, smashed them. What did Sophia say then? She stood watching indifferently, her tone sarcastic. Broken, so what? Those crappy cups were worth pennies? Liam, don't be so petty like a woman. You're scaring Zane. But now, she was tearing up over those broken cups. Alex, I'm sorry. It seems I've turned our home upside down. Nah. Seeing her flustered appearance, my heart didn't stir in the slightest. In fact, I found it utterly ridiculous. Sophia, what you've ruined isn't just a cup. You've shattered our entire lives to pieces. Night fell. Sophia insisted on going to the kitchen, saying she wanted to make my favorite sweet and sour ribs. 5 years ago, Sophia really cooked deliciously. Back then, she hadn't inherited the family business yet. We squeezed into a tiny rented room. She'd tie on an apron, face smeared with oil, but smiling brightly as she cooked for me, swearing she'd fatten me up, no matter what. But these past 3 years, she wouldn't even touch the kitchen door handle. Her catchphrase was, "These hands are for signing multi-million deals, not for slaving in the kitchen." Why, Zane? While she was busy in the kitchen, I slipped into the study. Though we'd divorced, I still had some personal items I hadn't had time to pack. Opening the computer, I prepared to copy the last remaining files. At that moment, the tablet Sophia had left on the desk suddenly lit up. WeChat notifications popping nonstop. The nickname displayed clearly as "that idiot." Somehow possessed, I unlocked the screen. The password was still my birthday. How ironic. Tapping in to check. That idiot turned out to be me. And the one pinned at the top with the nickname Darling was naturally Connor Zane. I opened the chat history between her and Connor Zane, my fingers scrolling over the cold screen. The raw words stabbed painfully into my eyes. Sophia, that idiot. Liam cooked porridge for me again today. Looking at that mess makes me want to vomit. Hey, Connor Zane, poor baby, you've suffered. Once we get his shares, we'll kick him out right away. Not but me with me. Sophia, don't worry. I've had the lawyer draft the contract. This time, Not only will he leave empty-handed, but he'll be saddled with massive debts. Let's see if he dares cling to me anymore. Sophia, exactly. His performance is truly pathetic. Always done in a few minutes. Nothing like you at all. Attached were several eye-searing photos I couldn't bear to look at. I examined them emotionlessly, even zooming in to see every detail. So, in her eyes, my devoted care over these years was just vomit-inducing trash. My body, weakened from late-night overtime for the company, had become a joke about not getting anything done in her mouth. Suddenly, a voice message caught my attention, sent an hour before the accident. I played it. Sophia's cold and vicious voice echoed in the quiet study. Connor Zane, I've tricked Liam to the Civil Affairs Bureau. After the divorce, I'll transfer the villa to you. As for him, I've prepared a big gift for him. I've fabricated all the evidence of his embezzlement, enough to rot his bones in prison for 8 or 10 years. The recording ended. The study sank into deadly silence. My fingers gripping the tablet turned white from force, veins bulging on the back of my hand. So it wasn't just simple infidelity. She truly wanted to drive me to death. Divorce was just the opener. Sending me to prison was the finale she desired. This was the woman I'd loved for 10 years. Alex, dinner's ready. Sophia's cheerful voice came from the living room. I took a deep breath, turned off the tablet, adjusted my expression, and stepped out. On the dining table sat a plate of charred sweet and sour ribs, along with a bowl of undercooked rice. Sophia's face was dusted with flour, looking just like a tabby cat, gazing at me with expectant eyes. It's been so long since I cooked, so I couldn't control the heat. Try it. She picked up a piece of rib and brought it to my mouth, her eyes unusually clear, as if the vicious woman in the recording, who wanted to send me to prison, was just my illusion. I opened my mouth and bit down, bitter and astringent, just like this damned marriage. Does it taste good? She blinked her sparkling eyes. I swallowed with difficulty, the corner of my mouth curling into a cruel smile. It's delicious, so good it reminds me of the meal I once fed to the stray dogs downstairs. Now, Sophia froze, seemingly not understanding my sarcasm, instead giggling foolishly. As long as you like it, I'll cook for you every day from now on. Yay! Every day? You probably won't have that chance anymore. At that moment, the door lock beeped electronically. Fingerprint, unlock successful. My fingerprint had long been deleted. Sophia's I hadn't had time to reset yet. The only person who could open this door was one man. The door opened. Connor Zane strutted in wearing a garish pink suit, arms full of a huge bouquet of roses. He changed shoes while calling loudly, "Baby, I'm here!" I heard that worthless guy finally signed. Tonight, we have to celebrate in style. Yay! Damn it. Connor Zane looked up and met my eyes as I sat smugly at the dining table, his expression twisting instantly, as if he'd swallowed a fly. Liam, you shameless bastard, why are you still here? Didn't you divorce? He threw the flowers to the ground, pointing straight at my face and cursing furiously. Get out of my sight! This is my house now. You believe I'll call security to drag you out? No, baby. I didn't move, quietly watching his performance. Then, I turned to look at Sophia. Sophia was staring at Connor Zane in horror, then at me, her body starting to tremble uncontrollably. In her memories, there was no character named Connor Zane at all. In her eyes now, this was a pervert, in a pink suit, bursting into the house, and insulting her husband. Who are you? Sophia suddenly jumped up, blocking in front of me, her voice shaking but resolute. Why do you have a key to my house? Get out, right now. Connor Zane was stunned, glaring at Sophia in disbelief. Sophia, have you lost your mind? It's me, Zane. Your darling. You're yelling at me for this worthless guy? Yeah, yo. Zane had clearly run out of patience. Thinking Sophia was playing some fun game with him, or deliberately humiliating me, he charged forward, shoving Sophia aside roughly, raising his hand to grab my collar. "Damn it, Liam, you freeloading scum! Are you shamelessly staying to demand alimony? Let me tell you, not a single cent. Scram so you don't ruin my good time tonight." Ow. Zane's fingers hadn't even touched me before Sophia slapped them away, brutally. "Don't touch him!" Sophia screamed, grabbing the still hot plate of sweet and sour ribs from the table, smashing it straight into Zane's powder-caked face. Zane shrieked like a pig being slaughtered, clutching his face and rolling on the ground in agony. Sophia trembled with rage, turning back to hug me tightly, tears pouring like rain. "Alex, don't be afraid. With me here, no one can bully you. I'll call the police right now. Have them arrest this mad intruder." And Cyril, looking at her darling wailing miserably on the floor, then at my ex-wife, desperately protecting me in her arms. I laughed until tears nearly spilled. "Call the police? Fine. Go ahead and call." Just as the police arrived, I have a few interesting things to show them too. Zane struggled to his feet, his face smeared with sauce and rib scraps, glaring venomously at Sophia. "Sophia, you dare splash that on me? Have you forgotten you're carrying my blood in your belly? Try touching me again." Sophia's body stiffened instantly. She turned her head in disbelief, her gaze landing on Zane's twisted, ferocious face, then slowly shifting down, stopping at her own flat abdomen. What did you say?" Sophia's voice was light as a breeze, as if it could shatter any time. "Who's pregnant with your child?" Zane wiped a handful of grease from his face, sneering. "What are you pretending for? Yesterday you came waving the pregnancy test at me, saying you'd finally conceived the Zane heir, to drive that sterile Liam to his grave. What's wrong? That worthless guy's still here. So, you're starting the act?" He pulled a crumpled test report from his pocket, flinging it straight at Sophia's face. "See for yourself." Wow, it really was her name. Sophia, 6 weeks pregnant. That lightweight paper now felt like a 1,000-pound boulder smashing into Sophia's face, then falling to the ground. Sophia trembled as she picked it up, recognizing every word on it. But, together, they formed an incomprehensible nightmare. Name: Sophia. Diagnosis: pregnant. No. Impossible. Sophia's face went pale as paper. She looked at me in terror, shaking her head frantically. "Alex, this isn't real. I don't know him. How could I have his child? I only love you. We've always used protection. Didn't we promise to enjoy our couple's world for 2 more years?" Now, her memories were desperately rejecting this truth, the massive cognitive conflict giving her a splitting headache, her whole body swaying as if about to fall. I bent down, picked up the test report, leisurely brushing off the dust on it. "Sophia, you're not misremembering." I leaned close to her ear, using the gentlest tone to utter the cruelest words. "We did always use protection, because I found you filthy. So this bastard child definitely isn't mine." Sophia's pupils contracted, as if hearing the sound of her world collapsing. "Alex, what are you saying?" I straightened up, gazing down at her with icy eyes. "If you wanted to have his child so badly, then I'll fulfill that for you too." I pulled out my phone, dialing the number I'd prepared long ago. "Hello, is this the Economic Investigation Team? I want to report by name. Sophia, CEO of the Man Group, for massive embezzlement and falsifying accounts. I have all the evidence in hand, including her accomplice, Zane." Zane on the floor suddenly stopped groaning, his eyes widening in horror. Sophia collapsed to her knees, clutching my pant leg, sobbing desperately. "Alex, don't. I love you. I really only love you." Your kind of love is too cheap. What I want is for you all to be ruined and disgraced. Blood debt paid in blood. Outside, police sirens wailed piercingly. Tonight was chaotic and absurd, but those sirens sounded so soothing. The police sirens shattered the villa area's tranquility. Red and blue lights flashing across the living room walls. Connor Zane was pinned to the floor by 2 economic police. His pink suit, smeared with grease and dirt. Collar yanked askew, revealing a gold chain inside. Let me go. How dare you arrest me? It was that crazy bitch who hit me. I'm the victim. Connor Zane thrashed wildly. Veins bulging on his neck, growling at me. Liam, you set this up, didn't you? You worthless freeloader. You dare trap me? I stood aside, casually wiping my fingers with a tissue that had touched Connor Zane's sleeve, then tossing the tissue in the trash. Mr. Connor, watch your words. Captain Lee spoke coldly. We've received a named report suspecting your involvement in multiple embezzlement and money laundering cases at the Man Group. This is the detention order. Please come with us. I'm not going. I want my lawyer. Sophia, say something. Connor Zane whipped his head around, roaring at Sophia, cowering in the sofa corner. Tell them. That money was given willingly by you. You begged me to spend it for you. Sophia hugged a pillow, trembling, jerking her head up at the roar, eyes full of fear. In her current memories, this grease-faced man was just a thug illegally breaking in and assaulting her husband. I don't know you. Get out, Sophia cried as she staggered behind me, clutching my shirt hem. Alex, make him leave. I'm so scared. Connor Zane froze. He never expected the Sophia who'd once obeyed him utterly to now treat him like a monster, then burrow into the arms of the worthless guy he despised most. Take him away, Captain Lee waved. Connor Zane was forcibly dragged off, mouth still cursing nonstop, until stuffed into the police car. When the screams finally stopped, the living room quieted again. Captain Lee looked at me, his gaze sweeping over Sophia with pity. Mr. Liam, regarding Miss Sophia's case, her brain is injured. The dissociative amnesia is severe. The doctor recommends rest. I handed over a copy of the medical report. As her legal husband, I'll cooperate with all police investigations. But before she regains consciousness, I'd like to request bail for her, with me as full guardian. Captain Lee flipped through the report, then looked at Sophia, nodding. Given the suspect's current mental state, is indeed unsuitable for detention, but restrict exit from the country. Must appear on summons. Of course. Seeing the police off, closing the apartment door, Sophia still clutched my shirt hem, face pale. Alex, she called softly. Was that bad guy arrested? Are we safe now? I turned to look at her, not rushing to answer, raising my hand to gently smooth her bangs. Touching the gauze on her forehead, she flinched a bit, but then obediently pressed her face into my palm. We're safe, I said, as long as you behave and listen. No one can harm you anymore. Sophia nodded frantically, tears streaming. I'll listen. I'll definitely listen. Alex, don't be mad at me. I really don't know who that madman is. I haven't done anything wrong to you. Looking at her, my heart didn't waver at all. Sophia, of course you don't know. Those betraying memories have all been sealed away by your injured brain, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. Tired, aren't you? I carried her upstairs to bed. Sophia wrapped her arms around my neck, burying her head in my shoulder. I smelled the perfume on her. Once I was obsessed with this scent, but now it just reeked overpoweringly. The next day, the Man Group was in total chaos. The economic police acted swiftly. Accounts under Sophia's name and related companies were all frozen solid. The group's stock price hit the limit down. Calls from the board flooded my phone. I sat in the study, watching the green candlestick chart on the screen, sipping a mouthful of coffee. Answering the call, Director Victor's voice, usually arrogant, now turned obsequious. Mr. Liam, the company is a mess now. Can't reach CEO Sophia. Director Victor, Sophia is ill. Now I'm her guardian. And her representative. I replied calmly. As for the stock price, let it drop. Consider it a cleansing. How can that be? Our assets are evaporating. What's the rush? I tapped the table. With 5% option shares in hand, plus the voting rights delegated from Sophia, my words should still carry weight, right? The other end fell silent. Over the past 3 years, though I held only a nominal position, most of the man projects passed through my hands. Sophia was lost in romance, leaving me to clean up her messes. My understanding of man surpassed even theirs. Hanging up, the phone vibrated suddenly. A video from an unknown number. The scene was a dark, damp basement. Connor Zane kneeling on the ground, his pink suit torn to shreds like rags, face bruised and bloody, hair matted with blood and filthy water clinging to his scalp. Standing before him was a bald man, tattooed with 9 dragons on his neck, known in the trade as Dragon, famous for his ruthless methods. Young Master Connor, the 3-day deadline is up. Dragon toyed with a dagger while patting his face. When do you plan to pay that 50 million yuan gambling debt? Connor Zane shook violently, tears and snot streaming. Brother Dragon, please give me a few more days. Sophia, that bitch, got nabbed by the cops. Accounts all frozen. I really have no money now. No money? Dragon sneered, plunging the dagger into the floor. Then dismantle some parts to offset the debt. I hear those eyes of yours charm the ladies. Gouge them out and they should fetch a good price. Huh? No, don't, Connor Zane screamed. I have money. I still have money. Sophia still has money. He howled like a madman. She has a secret offshore trust fund. Money she hid to evade taxes. Only I know there's 100 million yuan in it. Just need her fingerprint and retina scan to withdraw it. Brother Dragon, please let me go. I'll get the money for you right away. Nile. Dragon pulled out the dagger, slashing a line across his face. Last chance. If no money by midnight tonight, prepare to massage for the blind. Now. Video ended. I turned off the phone. Connor Zane had been released due to insufficient evidence. The fake books Sophia made were too perfect. All crimes pinned on accounting. Connor Zane just an unwitting beneficiary. Police could only restrict his exit. This suited my plans perfectly. I knew about that offshore trust, set up by Sophia 2 years ago. Back then she said, Alex, this is the fund for our future kids. Once we have babies, we'll travel the world together. Why? Later, the password was changed to Connor Zane's birthday. Now, that account, once symbolizing love, had become his only lifeline, and also his death sentence. Night fell, rain pouring down. Tree shadows outside the window swayed violently. I carried a bowl of bird's nest porridge into the master bedroom. Sophia was curled up at the headboard, hugging the SpongeBob cup and staring out the window. Hearing the door open, she turned and relaxed a bit, seeing me. Alex. Her voice was hoarse. The rain outside is so heavy. I'm scared of the thunder. Don't be afraid, I'm here. I sat by the bed feeding her the porridge. Take your medicine first, then have some porridge. Nhi. Sophia obediently opened her mouth. Bitter? Bitter. Sophia grimaced as she swallowed. But since Alex fed it, I love it. Cow. She nuzzled the back of my hand. Alex. I remember back in school, every time I had cramps during my period, you'd always make porridge for me like this. Back then, I swore, in this life I'd definitely marry you, bear you lots and lots of babies. Now, mentioning children, her eyes darkened. I'd taken away that test report. The pregnancy felt like a thorn in her heart. Alex, the baby that bad guy mentioned, she tentatively asked. It really doesn't exist, right? Nhi. I set the bowl down and wiped her mouth. No, it doesn't. Zane. I looked at her. He was lying to you. You belong only to me. How could you have someone else's child? Sophia's eyes lit up, believing it hook, line, and sinker. I knew it. She nestled into my arms. That madman must be trying to extort us. Alex, good thing you're here. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what to do. Nah. I patted her back, glancing at the surveillance screen on the wall. A dark shadow was climbing over the villa wall. Connor Zane had arrived, for that 100 million yuan, to keep his eyes. He was convinced Sophia was still that foolish woman. A few sweet words or threats would get her fingerprint and retina. After all, in his eyes, I was just a worthless son-in-law with no threat. Sleep now. I laid Sophia down and tucked her in. The drugs were about to kick in. Have a good deep sleep. Tomorrow, everything will be fine. What? Sophia's eyelids drooped. Alex, don't go. I'm not going. I'm here. I kissed her forehead. I'll be right downstairs watching over you. Nhi. Seeing her fast asleep, I turned off the light and stepped out to the monitoring room on the first floor. The screen showed a corner of the villa. The shadow had sneaked to the side door. He was soaked like a drowned rat, hand gripping something, probably a knife. He was trying to pry the electronic lock on the side door. This was a German-imported system. Without code or fingerprint, no way to open. Connor Zane pried for a while, growing impatient and starting to bang on the door. I sat at the control panel, finger on the console, watching the disheveled man on the screen. It was like seeing myself 3 years ago. That day was also a torrential rain. I'd knelt outside the Mann family door, begging Sophia not to evict my gravely ill mother. Connor Zane stood on the second-floor balcony, holding Sophia and looking down scornfully. He said, Liam, scum, like you deserves the name Liam? Scram back to your slum. Then they released the vicious dogs. Now it was his turn. Young Master Connor, welcome to the party. Nagday, I whispered into the mic, pressing the red button. The side door unlocked, green light flashing. Connor Zane on the screen froze briefly. After the shock came mad joy. He thought heaven was helping him. Or perhaps Sophia had left the door for him. He pushed the door and slipped in, trailing drenched water, watching him tiptoe through the hallway and up to the second floor. I grabbed the fruit knife from the table, twirling it between my fingers. The prey was in the cage. Thunder shook the glass windows. The second-floor bedroom door was flung open. Sophia had just woken, still groggy and not seeing clearly, when a hand grabbed her shoulder tightly. Sophia, sign it. Hurry and sign this for me. Connor Zane dripped water from head to toe, rain trickling from his hair onto Sophia's nightgown. His face twisted, one hand holding a stack of documents, the other waving wildly. Ah! Sophia screamed and shrank to the bed corner. Who are you? Get out! Alex! Alex, save me! Stop calling that worthless guy's name. Now, Connor Zane roared with bloodshot eyes, tossing the documents onto the blanket. It's me, Zane. Look closely. You told me to come. You said you'd transfer all the shares to me, so I can take you far away. Sign it quick. Only then can I pay the debt. Nhi. Sophia shook violently. In her eyes, this was the madman who'd burst in and attacked. During the day, I don't know you. I'm not signing, Sophia cried out, reaching for the bedside lamp. Connor Zane, impatient, grabbed her hair, pressing her face into the documents. Pretending amnesia? You bitch. Trying to welch on the debt? Believe me, I'll kill you right now. Let her go. The voice came from the door. I leaned against the frame, holding the fruit knife. Connor Zane turned, pupils shrinking at the knife. He quickly choked Sophia as a hostage. Liam! Perfect timing, Connor Zane growled. Make this crazy bitch sign the offshore fund transfer paper and the asset protection declaration too. Once she signs, I'll let you both go. Otherwise, today all three of us die here. Sophia's face turned beet red from the choke, hands clutching Connor Zane's arm as she looked at me. Alex, save me! I stood up straight, pocketed the knife, and raised both hands. Connor Zane, don't get agitated. I spoke calmly, slowly approaching the bed. Her mind isn't clear right now. You're scaring her like this. How can she sign? Don't come closer. Back off, Connor Zane yelled. Fine, I'm backing off. I stopped 2 meters away and looked at Sophia. Sophia, don't be afraid. Sophia heard my voice, her sobs quieting a bit. Alex, he wants to kill me. He won't. I glanced at Connor Zane. Young Master Connor is just short on cash. Sophia, be good, sign it. Once signed and he gets the money, he'll leave. And we'll be safe. Sophia paused, tears still on her lashes. But I don't recognize those words. What now? It's okay. I'll help you. I looked at Connor Zane. Give me the documents. I'll have her sign. You're choking her so tight. Her hands are shaking. How can she write? Nyahal Rei. Connor Zane hesitated briefly. He stared at my pale hands, then glanced out the window. Behave. You wouldn't dare try anything anyway. Nyalai. Connor Zane shoved Sophia away, tossing the stack at me. Hurry, only 5 minutes. Papers, scattered everywhere. I bent down, picking them up, one by one. The top sheet was the offshore trust beneficiary transfer agreement. Beneath was the so-called personal asset protection declaration. Connor Zane probably got templates from black market brokers, wanting to trick Sophia into mortgaging the house. I turned my back to Connor Zane, using the moment to rearrange, slipping out prepared papers from my sleeve. They were the complete debt and asset separation declaration, and the non-compensated share transfer agreement for the Man Group. Recipient, Liam. 2. From layout, font, to paper quality, identical to Connor Zane's. Only the core clauses swap. I stuffed Connor Zane's declaration under the bed, replaced with mine, then pointed to the signing spot. All set. I handed the documents and pen to Sophia. Sophia, sign it. Sign right here. I pointed to the blank. Sophia timidly, hands shaking. Alex, do I really have to sign? What is this? This is protection money, I whispered softly. Once signed, this bad guy will never bother us again. We'll shut the door and live our peaceful days together, okay? Sophia looked at me, fear fading from her eyes. Yes, I'll listen to you. Sophia grabbed the pen, without glancing at the content, signed her name where I pointed, then pressed her fingerprint. Done signing. Connor Zane rushed over, snatching the stack, flipping to the spot with Sophia's fresh signature and red fingerprint. He laughed maniacally. Success! I'm about to be rich. Nyawi Dao. His hands shook with excitement, not bothering to check the clauses closely. In his eyes, Sophia was still that foolish woman. How could she scheme against him? Scram! I coldly uttered one word. Connor Zane tucked the documents close, glaring sidelong at me. Liam, you wait. Once I withdraw the money, I'll come back to settle scores. Wow. He turned and fled desperately, banging into the doorframe with crashes. As he passed me, I raised my hand and lightly patted his shoulder. Don't let me see your face again. One day, Connor Zane spat a glob of saliva, dashing into the rainy night. In that shoulder pat, a tiny tracking device slipped into his soaked vest pocket, sticking to the inner lining. The downstairs door slammed shut. Sophia slumped on the bed, sobbing. Alex, boo-hoo, I was scared to death. I sat back by the bed, pulling tissues to wipe the rain streaks and dirt from her face. It's okay now, I said. Sleep. Nyan. Those papers. Sophia sniffled. Will they harm you? Nyadis? I think I saw your name on them earlier. Wani. My movements paused slightly. I looked at her. That's a good thing. Wani. I tossed the tissue in the trash. That's a big gift you gave me. Sophia. Thank you for helping me reclaim what's mine. Now Z. Sophia didn't understand. Seeing me smile, she giggled foolishly too. As long as you're happy. After soothing Sophia, I went to the study. On the computer screen, a red dot was moving toward the underground casino in the West City. I lit a cigarette and stared at the screen. Connor Zane, the real show is just beginning. Third basement of Nightshade Club, West City. The room reeked of cigarette smoke and alcohol. Dragon sat on the sofa, rolling iron balls. The tattoos on his bald head writhed with each move. Connor Zane knelt on the ground, covered in mud, hands offering the stack of documents. Brother Dragon signed. All signed. Connor Zane's face beamed with excitement. This is Sophia's fresh signature, with fingerprint too. This fund is worth hundreds of millions yuan. And here's the real estate under Sophia's name. All mortgaged to me. Enough to pay your debt. The rest is my filial gift to you. Nhi. Dragon paused, signaling his underling. The underling took the papers and handed them to the accountant. The accountant adjusted his glasses, leaning close to the lamp to examine. Connor Zane stayed kneeling, knees stinging from glass shards. But he didn't care. His mind dreamed of lavish days abroad after clearing the debt. Time ticked by second by second. The accountant's brows furrowed tighter, his expression oddly twisted. What's wrong? Connor Zane's heart pounded. Maybe her signature was too scribbly? No issue. It's real. I even have video proof. The accountant ignored him, whispering a few words in Dragon's ear. Dragon slammed the table, iron balls clanging on the marble toward Connor Zane. Damn you, daring to trick me? Nhi. Connor Zane shuddered. Brother Dragon, I wouldn't dare. That's absolutely legit. Legit? Dragon grabbed the stack and hurled it at his face. Open your damn eyes and look closely. You call this freak show a debt note? Nhi. Papers flew everywhere. Connor Zane snatched one up. Complete debt and asset separation declaration. Clause 1. Party A, Sophia. All personal debts and joint liabilities, from today onward fully transferred to Party B. Connor Zane. Connor Zane's head buzzed. He grabbed another sheet hastily. Non-compensated share transfer agreement for the Man Group. Clause. Party AA. Sophia voluntarily transfers all 51% shares held in the Man Group to Party B. Liam.D. Connor Zane stared blankly at the name. No, this isn't right. Not like this. One Nhi. He frantically rummaged through the papers. The version I brought was clearly the personal asset protection declaration. How did it change to this? Why did it become a transfer to Liam? No. He suddenly recalled Liam's back, bending to pick up papers in the bedroom, and his final smile. It's him. It's Liam. Connor Zane jumped up screaming. He switched them. Brother Dragon, I've been framed. These papers are fake. Chow. Invalid. Invalid. Dragon sneered coldly, standing and kicking straight into Connor Zane's chest. Connor Zane yelped in pain and fell, overturning the coffee table. Black on white, red fingerprint glaring. And you tell me it's invalid? Why me? Dragon stomped hard on Connor Zane's face. It's written clear as day here. Whatever debts Sophia has, you take them all for her. And Sophia's money goes clean to Liam. Why you dare bring this trash to fool me? Nhi. You trying to make me shoulder your debts? Ray. No. Brother Dragon, spare me. Nyalwi derwe. Connor Zane's mouth filled with blood. Give me more time, I'll go. Inde, go your mother's. Dragon spat a wad. I've given you chances. No money. Then follow the old rules. Men, drag him to the back alley. Gouge out his eyes first. Then cut out his kidneys to offset the interest. While 2 burly thugs rushed forward, hoisting Connor Zane up by the armpits. Connor Zane was utterly despairing. Money gone. No way out left. Not only penniless, but also saddled with Sophia's massive debts, and about to have his eyes gouged, kidneys cut. It was all that worthless Liam's fault. Liam! Liam! Connor Zane wailed miserably, his voice full of resentment, suddenly glancing at Dragon before speaking. The 2 thugs paused. Dragon eyed Connor Zane's crazed state. You want revenge? Connor Zane panted heavily, eyes glazed. I have to kill him. I'll slaughter his whole family. Murder means paying with your life. This deal ain't worth it. Dragon kicked at his head. But if you've really got the guts, I can lend you this. Dragon tossed out a switchblade. Before midnight tonight, if you bring back Liam's head, or bring real cash, we can renegotiate this debt. If you don't make it back, Dragon sneered coldly. You won't survive anyway. Might as well go out with a bang. Connor Zane stared fixedly at the knife on the ground, the blade reflecting his demonic face. No escape now. Either die on the operating table, or drag Liam down with him. Connor Zane trembled as he gripped the handle tight, the metal's chill stripping him of all reason. Thanks, Brother Dragon. Connor Zane crawled up, staggering out. Passing the junk pile, he casually grabbed a roll of packing tape. He didn't need money anymore. He wanted blood. In the study, after the red tracking dot paused at Nightshade for 20 minutes, it started moving again, this time very slowly. But the direction crystal clear, heading straight back here. I watched the red dot, stubbed out my cigarette, picked up the phone to call Captain Lee's private number. Hello, Captain Lee. Sorry to bother you so late. My voice was steady, but I forced a hint of fear. Connor Zane seems to have gone mad. He just texted threatening me, saying he'd kill my whole family. The current tracker shows he's coming to my house. And he might have a knife. Please, hurry. I'm afraid something will happen to Sophia. Meow. Dear. Hanging up, I walked to the floor-to-ceiling window. It was still raining. I gazed at my reflection in the glass, adjusting my collar, borrowing a knife to kill. The blade sharpened, just waiting for the neck to present itself. Connor Zane, I said to the air. Welcome back to turn yourself in. Ed. The chairman's office on the top floor of the man group. Neon lights flickered outside the window. I sat in the luxurious leather chair, fingers tapping lightly on the rosewood desk. On the table, a cup of Da Hong Pao tea, steam. The phone on the desk vibrated wildly, the sound echoing in the empty office. The screen lit up. No nickname. An encrypted video call. I lifted the teacup, gently blew on the leaves, took a sip, bitter and astringent, but with a sweet aftertaste. I pressed answer, propping the phone beside the cup. The screen shook. Image stabilizing. Dim light. Rusty pipes. Black puddles on the floor. The setting was an abandoned chemical plant. The lens pulled back. A rickety chair appeared in the frame. Sophia tied to the chair, her expensive silk nightgown torn to shreds, smeared with grease and mud, the gauze on her head soaked with blood, hair disheveled and matted on her face, looking utterly disheveled. Liam, you finally picked up. Connor Zane's twisted face loomed close to the lens, eyes bloodshot, mouth twitching, non-stop. See clearly? Who is this? Connor Zane grabbed Sophia's hair, forcing her to lift her face to the camera. Your darling is in my hands now. Does it hurt? Huh? If it does, cough up the cash. Now. Sophia forced to tilt her head back, eyes vacant, tears washing away the dirt on her face. Seeing me on the screen, she thrashed wildly, the chair scraping against the concrete with screeching noises. "Alex! Alex, save me!" she wailed, voice hoarse. "It's so dark here. I'm terrified. This bad man hit me. Alex, where are you? Come quick and take me home." In her current memories, I was still the husband who doted on his wife endlessly. I leaned back in the chair, calmly watching the screen. "Connor Zane," I spoke, "kidnapping a fool with a 5-year-old's mind. Find it fun." "Shut your trap," Connor Zane roared, spit flying onto the lens. 50 million. Prepare 50 million in cash right now. No consecutive serial numbers. Bring it to the West Chemical Plant in half an hour, or I'll tear the hostage apart on the spot. Or, he drew a dagger, pressing the blade to Sophia's neck. Sophia screamed, body shaking violently. "Alex, give him the money. Give it. I want to go home." "Henry shall," I'd bawl. I looked at that knife, secretly hoping he'd slash deeper. 50 million? I lifted the teacup for a sip. "Young Master Connor, you seem to have some misconception about the current market price." "Nhi, what do you mean?" Connor Zane's hand shook, the blade drawing a line on Sophia's skin. Sophia gasped in pain, tears streaming. "Alex, it hurts so much. Hurry and give him the money. Don't you love me the most? You promised to protect me." I set the cup down, the base clinking dryly on the table. Sophia has not a penny left to her name now. And I stared at the screen, tone flat, bank accounts frozen, real estate mortgaged, even the necklace around her neck you're holding the knife to is fake. She's not only broke now, but carrying a huge debt. Connor Zane froze, then bellowed in rage. "You're bullshitting! She's the chairman of the man group. How could she have no money? It's you! You swallowed all her money." "Nyah. Yes, it was me," I admitted nonchalantly, swiveling the phone camera to show him my surroundings. "See clearly? This is Sophia's office. Now it's mine. I'm the largest shareholder of the man group." Sophia signed, handing everything over to me. "Nyah." The lens returned to my cold face. Connor Zane, kidnapping her is pointless. To me now, she is just a useless cripple with no value left. 50 million? She's not worth even $500. Now, the room fell deathly silent. Connor Zane's eyes bulged, full of disbelief. Sophia froze too, eyes blank with confusion. "Alex, what are you saying?" she asked, trembling. "I'm your Sophia. Your darling. How can you say I'm not worth it? Weren't we going to be together forever?" "Why, forever?" I looked at her, corner of my mouth curling. "Sophia, you seem to have forgotten we're divorced. On the very day of your accident, you held the divorce paper, telling me to scram." "What Oh, well, no." Sophia shook her head frantically, instinctively denying the truth. "We're not divorced. You're lying. You must still be mad at me, right? From now on I'll be good. No more snacking. No more buying bags. Don't abandon me. Liam, you really don't care if she lives or dies?" "Ow!" Connor Zane was truly panicking. "I don't." I coldly uttered 2 words. "Kill her." I stared at Connor Zane. "Make it quick. Don't make her suffer too much. After all, we were husband and wife once. This is my final mercy." You mad bastard!" Connor Zane broke down, the card in his hand useless now. Despair and fury, overwhelming all reason. Fine. No money, huh? You want to borrow a knife to kill, huh?" Connor Zane's face twisted ferociously. He turned, grabbing Sophia's hair, slapping her hard across the face. Slap! The sound echoed through the mic. Sophia's head snapped to the side, blood trickling from her mouth corner. She screamed in pain. What are you yelling for? You bitch. Zane went mad, swinging another slap. Look closely. This is the man you love. Manhwa. This is the man you insisted on marrying. Nhi. He wants you dead. He wants to watch you die. Slap. This slap swelled half of Sophia's face instantly, the bone-deep pain piercing her brain. Her once naive and chaotic eyes, suddenly fluctuating violently. The bruise dissolved, long-sealed memories bursting the dam under violence's impact. I glued my eyes to the screen, missing no tiniest change on her face. Fragments of memory overlapped. The first slap. Sophia's pupils contracted, her mind flashing the university stadium, her holding a cheap cake, smiling brightly. Liam, as long as it's from you, I love it all. Nyalan. The image shattered, becoming the scene at a fancy restaurant 3 weeks ago, her smashing the cake into my face, mocking me publicly. Liam, you dare bring this trash? Trying to poison me to death. In reality, Sophia's screams went hoarse, piercing with heart-rending pain. No! She clutched her head, nails digging into her scalp. Zane, beating her to death won't get you money either. Worry. I coldly provoked him through the mic. Do it! Stab her with the knife. Let me see how bold you are. Zane, enraged, grabbed her hair and slammed her head into an iron pillar. Bang! The gauze on Sophia's forehead unraveled, blood streaming into her eyes. Her vision dyed red. Memories flooded like a torrent. She recalled that rainy night, sitting in Zane's supercar looking out, seeing me kneeling in the rain begging to borrow money for my mother's treatment. Recalled the passionate encounter with Zane in the car. Then, tossing the condom onto my pillow, she recalled at the lawyer's office, sneering, as she signed the fabricated documents to send me to prison. Ah! Sophia let out a piercing scream. This sound unlike a plea for help, more like the wail of a soul being torn apart. Zane startled, his movements freezing. Sophia slowly raised her head, face covered in blood, the innocence and dependence in her eyes gone completely, replaced by the turbid pupils of an adult. With sober despair, she looked at Zane raising his fist, the man she'd once seen as true love, now like a demon demanding her life. She turned to the phone screen. On the screen, I sat in her chairman's chair, holding the purple clay teacup she'd once scorned, with the cold smile of one enjoying a show. No worry at all, no pity, only the pleasure of revenge achieved. Memories returned. 5 years of youth piled on. A Liam who'd loved her more than life killed by her own hand. The Liam now. A avenger, created by her own doing. Sophia's lips trembled, fresh blood staining her teeth red. She no longer called Alex, save me. She stared at the screen, tears mixing with diluted blood streaming down, chest heaving violently. After a long while, she forced out a sentence from deep in her throat. Voice raspy, chilling to the bone. Liam, you're truly ruthless. Hearing this, I burst into laughter, laughing until my shoulders shook. I set the teacup down, leaning close to the camera. Sophia, isn't this all what you taught me? Yay. You once said, mercy to enemies is cruelty to yourself. Now why? You also said, anything useless should be discarded like trash. Nah. Now you're that useless trash. Nah. Sophia's body shook violently, as if drained of her last strength. Her gaze shifted from hatred to empty despair. She understood, no broken mirror mends. Those recent days of tender love were just a net I'd woven. I wanted her to fall from heaven to hell's depth. Zane. I looked at the stunned man. What are you waiting for? She's regained her memories. She remembers who you are. Guess who she hates more now? Me? Or you? Zane suddenly looked down. Sophia glaring at him. eyes like she wanted to devour him alive. Connor Zane, Sophia gritted her teeth. You dare deceive me. Andy, you said you loved me, yet you beat me for money. Shut up. Yadanaride. You bitch. Connor Zane started to feel chills, panic making him lose control. He raised the dagger, aiming straight at Sophia's chest to stab. No money then. We all died together. The blade flashed cold light. At that very moment, boom! A massive crash sounded. The chemical plant door smashed open. Intense flashlight beams illuminating the dark space. Police! Freeze! Drop the weapon. Dozens of SWAT officers surged in, guns locked on Connor Zane. Connor Zane blinded by the bright lights. His action halted. Bang! A warning shot rang out. The bullet, embedding near Connor Zane's foot. Sparking flares. His hands shook violently, the dagger clanging to the ground. His legs gave out, kneeling on the spot, pants, crotch soaked, wet. In the video, police swarmed to pin Connor Zane. Another team rushed to Sophia, cutting the ropes to rescue her. Sophia's body limp, letting the police carry her onto the stretcher. In the moment of being carried away, she strained to turn back to the phone on the ground. The screen still on, me still sitting there, like a judge. Across the screen, across the crowd, our eyes met. Her lips moved, ultimately saying nothing, only emitting a sharp, despairing laugh. Hee hee, ha ha ha. The laugh mingled with police siren, sounding utterly grating. The call cut off, screen going black. I leaned back in the chair, exhaling a long, somber breath. Is it over? No, it's all just beginning. Sophia, welcome back to the real world. Welcome to the hell you destroyed with your own hands, then rebuilt by me for you. I picked up the desk phone, calling the internal line to notify legal. Prepare to sue Sophia on charges: adultery in marriage, asset dissipation, embezzlement, and attempted murder. Hanging up, I stood and walked to the floor-to-ceiling window. The rain had stopped, the city like freshly washed clean. The glass reflected my image, crisp suit, handsome face, with cold eyes. I raised my hand to touch my shadow. Liam, I whispered, you did great. Even if the heart is smashed to mud, from those ruins must bloom the flower of sin. The phone screen had gone dark, but I didn't move. The rain outside had fully stopped. I poured myself a second cup of tea. The aroma of Da Hong Pao tea wafted through the cool office. Captain Lee's phone call. Mr. Liam, we've got him. Captain Lee's voice sounded exhausted, mixed with regret, but there was a slight, unexpected incident. Nah. I toyed with the teacup rim, using a worried tone. Unexpected? How's Sophia? Is she hurt? Connor Zane resisted fiercely, his mind extremely agitated. Captain Lee hesitated. At the exact moment SWAT breached the door, he struck the hostage. Though we immediately neutralized his resistance. Miss Sophia is gravely injured, her face completely disfigured by the weapon. More seriously, the suspect's stab hit the cervical spinal nerves. She's been rushed to the city hospital for emergency. Best you come right away. I tilted my head back, draining the tea, the bitterness fading, leaving only sweet aftertaste. Calculations, spot on. From Connor Zane losing control to SWAT breaching. About 30 seconds, gap. For a gambler at the end of his rope, 30 seconds. Enough to ruin the woman who bankrupted him. Arrive a minute early. Sophia at most suffers flesh wounds. Arrive a minute late. Sophia might be dead. What I want isn't a corpse. Death is release. Living is punishment. I grabbed my coat, adjusted my expression, strode out of the office. Time to play the role of the utterly heartbroken husband. City Hospital Emergency Center. The hallway reeked of disinfectant and blood. Operating room light, still red. Captain Lee sat on the long bench, holding the report. Seeing me arrive, stood to greet. Mr. Liam, sorry. Can't blame you. My eyes red-rimmed, voice hoarse. It's that beast's fault for being too vicious. Where's Connor Zane? During interrogation at the station, he was injured too. But not life-threatening. Captain Lee's eyes sharp. This time, ironclad evidence. Kidnapping, intentional injury, extortion. Plus, prior economic crimes. Death sentence for sure. Lightest is life. I nodded, leaned against the wall, covered my face with both hands, outwardly hiding sorrow, actually concealing the smile at my mouth's corner. Connor Zane, your big gift has arrived. Go rot in prison, while Sophia rots outside with you. 3 hours later, light off. Surgeon stepped out, removing mask, face weary. Who's the patient's family? May. I rushed forward, gripping the doctor's hand. How's my wife? You must save her, no matter the cost. The doctor sighed, eyes full of sympathy. We saved her life. But Mr. Liam, prepare yourself. The patient's face has extensive soft tissue damage. Though stitched, it will leave permanent scars. Hard to restore appearance. The doctor paused, then continued, the toughest is the cervical spine. The blade severed the central nervous system, though not fatal on spot. It caused quadriplegia. Except the head, from neck down, likely immobile for life. Why? Quadriplegia, disfigurement. These words echoed the hallway. Nurses looked at me with pity. Captain Lee patted my shoulder. I staggered, collapsing by the wall. Alive is good, alive is good. And I buried my head in my knees. No one saw me smiling in the dark. Sophia, the face you were so proud of is gone. The hands you used to command empires, to sign the files framing me are crippled. Even the legs you used to toss the condom on my pillow might as well be scrapped. This is true leaving empty-handed. A week later, Sophia transferred to VIP special care room. Very quiet here. Sunlight flooding through windows onto the floor. Ignoring the medicine smell, it's like a hotel. I pushed the door in. The caregiver wiping Sophia. Seeing me greeted, Mr. Liam? Wow. You go out first. I waved. I want to stay with her a bit. The caregiver closed the door and left. The room left only the monotonous beep-beep of monitors. I pulled a chair to sit by the bed. The person on the bed wrapped like a mummy, face crisscrossed with bandages, only eyes and mouth exposed, neck in a brace, body stiff, full of tubes. Hearing the noise, Sophia opened her eyes. Those eyes no longer blank or innocent, nor resentful, only deathly. Seeing me, her pupils contracted, throat rasping like a saw, vocal cords damaged. Awake, I crossed my legs, picked an apple from the bedside table and started peeling. The knife swishing. How do you feel? My voice, very gentle, like asking a friend with a cold. Doctor says you're recovering well. Tough life. Sophia stared at me, tears soaking the gauze. Kill me. She strained out the words. Sound like sandpaper scraping. Kill you? I peeled off a strip of apple skin, cut a piece, and chewed. That'd be illegal. Sophia, I'm a law-abiding citizen. How could I do that? I swallowed the apple, leaned close, peering into her bloodshot eyes. Besides, right now you're the mascot of the man group. Though you've signed, transferring all shares to me. Media doesn't know yet. I have to keep you. Hire the best caregivers. Use the finest meds. I want the whole world to know. Liam is such a faithful, honorable husband. Even if his wife is crippled and disfigured, he won't abandon her. Sophia's chest heaved violently. The ventilator alarming. Anger, regret, or despair. Don't get agitated. I helped smooth her chest for breath. Damage this body, and you're the one suffering. After all, Now you can't even scratch an itch. Right? Sophia closed her eyes, tears overflowing. She wanted to turn her head but couldn't. Raise a hand but failed. Bite her tongue to suicide. But had a fixator. Can't live, can't die. Oh right, got this gift for you. I pulled a mirror from my pocket. A high-definition handheld round 1-1. I stood holding the mirror right above Sophia's face, adjusting the angle so she could see herself clearly. Open your eyes. And shall, I commanded. Sophia squeezed her eyes shut, body quaking. I said open your eyes. And my voice turned cold. Miss Man, facing reality, is a basic quality for an entrepreneur. Perhaps from fear or habit of obedience. Sophia opened her eyes. In the mirror was a monster, head swollen like a pig's, gauze stuck with yellow fluid and bloodstains, exposing purple flesh patches, lips dry and cracked flipped out. Scariest were the eyes, once arrogant as heaven, now like two deep black pits, filled with horror. Sophia let out a wretched howl, not human but like a beast cornered. If her hands could move, she'd surely claw this face to shreds. If her legs could move, wow, she'd jump out the window. But sadly she could do nothing, forced to stare at the monster in the mirror, watching the once queen turn into this neither ghost nor human form. Beautiful? I held up the mirror. This is the love mark Connor Zane left you. He said because he loved you too much, he wanted to etch indelible traces on your body. Take it away! Take it! Sophia howled, tears and snot streaking her face, looking even more twisted and ferocious. Please. Liam. Alex, kill me. Please, she begged, discarding all pride. I was wrong, truly wrong. I shouldn't have betrayed you. I shouldn't have treated you that way. I know my mistake. No. Look, please look. For the sake of our 10 years, give me a clean end. Now, 10 years affection? My hand paused a bit. I placed the mirror on the bedside table, facing her face. Just a tilt, and she could see. I bent down, hands on the bed edge, face close to her ear, close enough to smell the rot. Sophia, you're mistaken about one thing, I whispered, like murmuring endearments. Our 10 years. From the moment you tossed that condom on my bed, from the moment you recorded wanting to send me to prison, it all died completely. Didn't you want me in jail? Didn't you painstakingly prepare that prison gift packager for me? Now, Connor Zane took your life sentence for you. He's in there, sure to live comfortably. And you, my finger brushed the gauze edge, making her shudder. You have to watch this world for me. You have to gape as I live in your house, spend your money, run your company. You have to stare as I rename the man group. You have to watch me trample the heart you once treated as trash underfoot, then live a life more glorious than anyone. Now, this is your sentence. Finished speaking, I straightened, adjusting my tie. Sophia's eyes shattered, last spark extinguished, leaving only dark abyss. She understood. Death is luxury. Living is hell. Recover well. Miss Man, I patted the blanket. The company has a deal waiting for my signature. No time to chat more. I turned to the door. Behind echoed Sophia's despairing howls. That was a curse with her last strength. Liam. Why now, you're a demon. You really are a demon. Bang! She madly tilted her head into the bedside table. The mirror fell to the ground, shattering to pieces, reflecting thousands of her grotesque images. I opened the door and stepped out of the room. The door closed, completely blocking the screams. The hallway flooded with sunlight. A nurse pushing a med cart passed. Seeing me nodded. Hello, Mr. Liam. Yee. Mr. Liam is truly a good husband, visiting his wife every day. I smiled and nodded. Just doing what's right. Why? Stepping out of the hospital building, I took a deep breath. No more disinfectant smell. This is the scent of freedom. Phone vibrated. Message alerting funds deposited. Man dividends. Plus proceeds from selling Sophia's bags and jewelry. A long string of numbers. Truly pleasing. I put on sunglasses, hiding the chill in my eyes. By the roadside waited the black Maybach, the car Sophia once loved most. She scorned my low status. Never let me touch it. The driver got out to open the door. Mr. Liam, where to? I sat in the back, gazing at the city through tinted lenses. To the company, I said flatly. Notify the board. Full staff meeting in 10 minutes. Now, why, some old debts need settling. Dowdy, what more is there? The car window rolled up, obscuring the hospital building. Sophia, your role is over. My stage is just starting. Engine roared. The car merged into traffic and sped away. 2 months later. The morning, a bit chilly. I sat in the Maybach's back seat. Americano in hand gone cold. On the car radio, the announcer giving morning news. News from our station. The embezzlement and kidnapping case, causing public uproar at the Mann Group, has first instance verdict today. Now, the defendant Connor Zane for kidnapping, intentional injury, embezzlement, combined penalties, death sentence, execution suspended 2 years, deprived political rights for life, and confiscate all personal assets. Nay, as long as he doesn't suicide in prison. His life is as good as rotting away there. A parasite like Connor Zane, thrown into prison's strict hierarchy for torment, more painful than immediate execution. Mr. Liam, we're here. Driver Old Chen spoke. Car stopped at the stock exchange entrance. Red carpet stretched long, surrounded by fresh flowers. Big screen, scrolling red congratulatory messages. I opened the door and got out. Flashes fired non-stop. Mr. Liam, look this way. Mr. Liam, congrats on the listing. Heard you rename the group to Clear Cloud Tech. Any special meaning? I paused to button my vest, smiling at the cameras. Not really special. I spoke into the mic. Clear means transparent. Cloud means clouds disperse to see the sun. And the old man was too mired. Time to wash away all that rotten decay. Time for a new life. Reporters scribbled furiously. No one knew Cloud came from my mother's name. That year, Sophia forced me to sign prenup. Cut med funds, causing my mother's death. Now man is gone. Replaced by a new company bearing my name and mother's surname. In the hall hung a golden bell. I took the mallet, glanced at the shareholders who'd once mocked me, now beaming obsequiously. The bell rang, echoing the hall. Confetti showered. Stock price curve on big screen surged. Applause thundered. I stood amid the crowd, hearing praises around. Heart utterly calm. No excitement, just the weariness after unloading a burden. Like finishing a long journey to destination. Just want to sit and sip water. Ceremony ended. I skipped the celebration banquet. Told Old Chen to drive to a luxury nursing home in the suburb. Serene scenery. Exorbitant costs. Many tycoons send incapacitated elders here. This is also where I chose as Sophia's final stop. I didn't get out, just lowered the window, opened monitoring app on phone. Screen showed VIP room 302. Spacious room, floor-to-ceiling windows, with good sun. Sophia sat in wheelchair, facing the large wall, TV diet. TV replaying the bell-ringing ceremony. On it, me, suited sharply. Off-screen, Sophia neck braced, head lolled to one side, face riddled with twisted pale pink scars. Right eyelid drooped, mouth drooling. Connor Zane stab severed her central nerves. Except eyes movable, mind thinkable, body completely wasted. Eat, What are you staring at? Yen. The caregiver entered frame, carrying a bowl of mushy food. That was new old lady Lu, very grumpy. But I paid high. Sole special request. No need to treat patient as human. Just keep alive. Old lady Lu slammed the bowl on the small table. Hot rice porridge splashed on Sophia's hand back. Sophia's finger twitched, but no other reaction. Open up. Old lady Lu scooped a spoonful. Without blowing, shoved into Sophia's mouth. Sophia scalded, throat rasping. Porridge dribbled from mouth corners, dripping on silk nightgown. Slap. Old lady Lu tossed spoon back in bowl, pulled rough paper and scrubbed Sophia's face hard. Eating a meal is such a hassle. Dribbling everywhere. Filthy as hell. Old lady Lu wiped while scolding. Really don't get what your husband thinks. Spending so much to keep a cripple like you. If it were me, I'd have dumped you on the street long ago. What are you looking at? If my hands are dirty, go eat yourself. Sophia rolled her eyes, staring at old lady Lu, tears streaming. Those eyes full of rage, humiliation, and despair. This scene looked so familiar. That year when I had fever in bed wanting water, Sophia had flung the cup at the bedside like this, splashing water on my face. She said, "Liam, are you worthless? Even drinking water needs serving. A dog I raise at least wags its tail better than you." 1D. Now it's her turn. On screen, old lady Lu wiped impatiently, then dumped the porridge straight in trash. Don't eat then. Let you starve a few meals, and you'll behave. Just as I'm lazy to serve anyway. All weird smells. Old lady Lu turned to scroll her phone. Sophia could only gaze at TV, weeping silently. On TV, the host reporting clear clouds listing. This event marks Mr. Liam officially becoming the city's newest, richest billionaire. Nhi Recap. Sophia, look closely at the man you once trampled under. If you hadn't cheated then. If you hadn't humiliated me then. The one standing there now should include you too. Pity there's no if only. I turned off the monitoring screen, tossed the phone aside. Let's go, I said to old Chen. To the old villa. Car entered the affluent area. But the luxurious villa was gone, replaced by a white-gray building. Stylishly designed. Long line at the door. Many youths, phone photographing, check-ins. I donned sunglasses, got out blending into the crowd. Hey, is this that famous public restroom? Nyi. A couple nearby chattered excitedly. Yeah, heard this land was once the wedding home of the female CEO of Man Group. ID. Later, she cheated, cuckolding her husband. Even tried to kill him. Result, the husband countered hard. Raised the house to build a public toilet. Yay. The guy pointed at the sign. Look, named Worry-Free. I'll know. This owner is a genius, meaning for everyone to come flush away the filth. Neil Watt. The girl covered her mouth laughing. So satisfying. Now, that CEO bitch and her lover are disgusting. Deserve to be flushed down the sewer. Shell. But this owner treats money like grass. Tens of millions, yuan land for a toilet. Wah. What do you know? That's class. He's the richest billionaire now. Cares about petty cash? This is performance art. A way to bid farewell to the past. Now, I stood under the sign gazing at Worry-Free. Now you, penned by my own hand. Before, this was Sophia and Connor Zane's love. Now, perfect. People coming and going. Water flushing all filth down the sewers. An old janitor carrying a mop came out. Seeing me staring at the sign, chatted, "Hey young man, try it inside. Our restroom is 5-star standard. Even has essential oils." The boss instructed, "Make every visitor feel most comfortable, to unload all burdens." I smiled. Removed sunglasses. No need, thanks. I've unloaded long ago. The old man paused a moment, found me familiar but couldn't recall who. I turned to leave. Behind echoed flushing sounds, sounding quite pleasant. Final stop, University Stadium. Class times so. Stadium, empty. The rubber track a bit glaring. Bleacher, seats paint peeling. 7 years ago, right here, Sophia in white dress stood on the highest bleacher, holding a megaphone shouting, "Liam, I like you. If you don't agree, I'll jump from here for you to see." One day, then, I'd rushed like mad to hug her, swearing to treat her well for life. Who'd expect the final flame would burn it all? I went to a wind-sheltered bleacher corner and sat, pulling out an iron box. Inside 2 marriage certificates, 1 divorce book, and some college photos together. In the photo, Sophia leaned on my shoulder, grinning ear to ear. I flicked a lighter. Click. Flame burst. First, the group photo started burning bright. Sophia's smiling face blackened to ash. Next, the marriage book. The 4 words "eternal union in fire" looked ironic. Finally, the divorce book. Burnt paper smell rose thick. Black smoke dissipated into air. Looking at the ash pile, I felt no great satisfaction, nor sorrow, only an odd lightness, like waking from a long, tiring nightmare. Awake, the dream person vanishes. All turns to smoke. Phone vibrated. Secretary WeChat. "Mr. Liam, the overseas acquisition contract is ready. Nhi. Legal, awaiting your signature. Yeah. Also, tonight, a charity gala. Organizers, hope you attend." I glanced and replied one word, "Okay." Wind blew, sweeping the ash from the ground, scattering it across the stadium till traceless. I stood, dusted my pants. Ahead still, a long road to walk. As for Sophia, for Connor Zane, for those 10 years, all vanished with the wind. I turned to walk, leaving the ash behind, striding boldly toward the school gate. This time, I didn't look back.